Hello friends, now we are going to discuss the most important, most asked question, that is what is class, what is object, and the most confusing topic, that is what is encapsulation. So let's get started. First of all, let's start from class. So what are these classes and object? Classes and object are the basic concepts of object-oriented programming which revolves around the real-life entities. So as you are able to see in the image, employee object. So employee object is there and employee class is there. So in the employee class, you are able to see the ID, name, job title, pay rate, and all. And in the employee object, you can see an image that is a girl who is having ID, name, job title, and the pay rate. I think better example is there in this. Okay, so classes and object are the basic concept of object-oriented programming which revolves around the real-life entities. That is one thing. So let's start with the class. So what is the one-liner definition which is clearer? So that is a class is a user-defined blueprint or the prototype or the template. That's it. Blueprint, prototype, template. Three words from which objects are created. Here you can see this is the template and here is the object which is created. It represents a set of properties, data, methods. Let me search for any other image, beautiful image that can explain more. Okay, here. Oh, see, Java classes and object. So here you can see clearly what is Java class and the object. Class, what it contains is the it represents the set of properties, data, methods, action, data, and this is the methods and the actions that are common to all the object of one type. These are the objects of one type. What is that one type? Person is the one type. Okay, so now coming to the declaration part and how what are the things that consist of the class. First of all, we when create the class, we come across access specifiers. What is that access specifiers? A class can be public or has a default access. Second thing is going to be class name. So how you should give the class name? The name should begin with the capital letter and then followed by the camel case convention. What is the camel case convention? You are going to start with the first letter, then every change of the letter you should start with the capitalizing that letter. It should look like a camel case. Then if we speak regarding the superclass, so it comes in the picture if we use any extends keyword. The name of the class parent, if any, proceeds by the keyword. Any class that proceeds with the keyword extends. It is the superclass. Implicit superclass of all the Java object is the java.lang.object. Next come the interfaces. Important thing regarding the interfaces is that a single class can inherit multiple interfaces. A comma separated list of interfaces implemented by the class, if any, preceded by the keyword implements. Class can implement more than one interface. This is the important point and you should remember that. For example, public class employee extends person and implements a runnable, comparable, comparator, everything. Regarding the body of the class, what it should be look like. It is surrounded by the close braces. Constructors are used to initialize the state of the new object. So basically it means that Constructors are used to give the shape to the object. Fields are the variable that provides the state of the class and its object. And methods provide the action to the object. Methods are used to implement the behavior of the class and its object. Say, suppose if we say this is the data member, so name, age, and city and gender. What it does basically, variables that provide state of the class. What is the state? What is his name, age, city, and the gender? That is one state. Another thing is methods is used to implement the behavior of the class. Behavior. What is the behavior? Eat, study, sleep, and play. That is the behavior part. Next thing, what is the example of that? What is the example of the class? That is student, employee, flight, purchase order, shape, a bank account, everything. Now come to the object. What is the object? It is the basic unit of the object-oriented programming that represents the real life entity. This is the real life entity. This is the real life entity. A typical Java program creates many objects. It creates many objects which interacts by invoking methods. Now coming Now going depth into the object. What does object contains? Object contains state. What is that state given by? The state is given by this data members. It represented by attributes of the object, properties of the object. That may be instance variable, class variable, or the local variables. But the state to the object is provided by data members of the class. Next thing is the behavior. Who provides the behavior? Methods provides the behavior to the object. It is represented by the methods of the object, actions upon the data. Identity. How identity is given to the object? It is given a unique identity to the object and enables one object to interact with other object. So what is the example of identity? Employee ID, student PNR, invoice number, order number, purchase order number, email address. Then combination of email address and the name are the uniqueness creating things that differentiates one object from the other. Now thing comes that how to create an object. A new operator instantiates a class by allocating memory for the new object and returning the reference to that memory. New operator also invokes the class constructor. So when the thing comes to the constructor, so what is the speciality of the constructor? You should remember these 3 points regarding the constructor. This is the special points of the constructor, same name as that of class. First point, over. Second point, no explicit return type, it returns internally. And third is may be parameterized or may be parameterless. Parameterized constructor is used to initialize state of the object. Suppose you want to initialize this name, age, city and gender. Then what we will do, we will create a parameterized constructor in which we will pass the name, unique ID, age, city and the gender. So that is regarding the parameterized constructor. If a class does not explicitly declare any constructor, the Java compiler automatically provides no argument constructor called default constructor. Got it? This default constructor implicitly calls the superclass, no argument constructor. Regarding now comes this keyword. I would like to speak the because this topic is related to this keyword also, so we will speak about the this keyword as well. So this means current object reference. What is the use of this? To unhide instance variables from method local variable to resolve the conflict. This dot name equal to name. So this dot name is what? This dot name. So this dot name is this name belongs to the object and name that you are assigning it to it. It is from the local variable. to invoke the constructor from another overloaded constructor in the same class. Constructor chaining or constructor chaining to avoid duplication is used. The next important and the most confusing point that we are going to discuss is the encapsulation in the Java. So let me change this to this. So what is the basically meaning of encapsulation? Encapsulation is defined as the wrapping up of data in code under a single unit. What does this mean? In the last example, we have defined here class. So what is that class? Class, it combines data members methods together. That is encapsulation, nothing else. Data members methods are kept in a single class, that is encapsulation. It is the mechanism that binds together code and the data it manipulates. So these methods are used to manipulate this data. So it is the protective shield that prevents the data from being accessed by the code outside the shield. What is that? A class? Nothing more than that. The variable or the data of the class of a class is hidden from any other class and can be accessed only through the members, methods, only through the member functions of own class in which they are declared. As in encapsulation, the data in the class is hidden from the other class, so it is also known as data hiding. So data hiding and encapsulations are same thing. Now comes the thing that how tight encapsulation can be achieved. Tight encapsulation can be achieved by declaring all the variables in the class as private and writing methods as public as its accessors. So now coming to the last point, what is the advantage of encapsulation? First thing is data heading. What does it give? Data heading implicitly gives data security. Second one is increased flexibility. We can make the variable of the class as read only or write only or read write. Third thing comes the reusability. Encapsulation also improves the reusability and easy to change with the new requirement. So, and fourth point is the testing the code is easy. Regarding the summary part, so encapsulation consists of data heading plus abstraction. Information hiding achieved by private data members and supplying public accessors. So what will happen is that as these methods are public and these are private, so you will be accessing this method and internally these methods will be accessing variables. Abstraction, what is the meaning of abstraction? Achieved by supplying an interface to the client, highlighting only what is to be done and not highlighting how it's internally implemented. That is called abstraction. Let me repeat what is abstraction. Abstraction is achieved by supplying an interface to the client. What we do, we supply an interface to the client, highlighting only what is to be done and not highlighted how it's internally implemented. See, here also you can see eat, study, sleep, and play. Are you able to see the implementation part? No. So that is abstraction. Thank you guys. Hopefully you are understanding little bit of it. My intention is to provide you crisp. If you ratify this method and tell to the interviewer, then also that is also fine, because this is the core knowledge which is provided by Madhura ma'am to our batch, and we are lucky and we are very much thankful to such a great teacher. Thank you all friends. Thank you.